Oh, that is absolute dynamite. And boom, it goes.
And boom, the layout goes. Slusta and Dekran are on the move. To Dekran!
Good evening and welcome to London Invite, brought to you by ULTI.TV. On the mic you have Ali Thomas and Stef Pazzo. We will be bringing to you the Stingrays all the way from Australia, facing off against Iceni from not too far away here in London in this women's showcase match, final women's round of today.
Excited about this one. We're into the showcases, Ali. 3 showcases in a row in 3 different divisions. Starting here, the Stingrays, the under-24 team, all the Australian under-24 teams, all the Australian rep teams named after the fauna of the native land down there. In this case, the Stingrays, they're preparing to go to Logroño in Spain in a week's time, taking on Iceni from a little closer to the source here at the London Invite. And we will get you all caught up on how they've gone, what they're fighting for here. But it is coming to the tail end of the day. This is the last game in the women's division, and I am getting some stats set up here, getting a whole bunch of things working as we get ourselves further into this one.
So we've just seen a little chat for the captains, Spirit captains, making sure everything's squared away. Big shout out to everybody watching at home. Thank you to everybody who is becoming a channel member to get access to all of the coverage across the weekend. We have 15 free games and 30 more games which are available if you become that channel member at the More London Invite tier. So we're gearing up for an absolute barn burner of a game. Iceni faced off against local rivals Spice earlier this morning in a tight match. Both teams struggling a little bit in the wind. Iceni eventually clinching the victory there. And Stef, you were on the Stingrays game earlier today.
Yeah, Stingers had a tough one. They went down. LMU really, I gave them a hard time. They put the zone on them, and from that stage, it got tricky. They had a high pass count, and they couldn't really get things going. They'd get to the end zone, but they're passing 20 and 30 passes per point, and coughing it up more often than not. It was a game of adjustments. Anson Chun, the coach, would give some adjustments, and they would come out. The crafty veterans on LMU would change up and show them some match defense for a point or two before putting that difficult zone back on them. So this is exactly what they want. This is why they're here, but they certainly want to be able to be learning and making those steps a little bit better. Up against what some may argue a tougher opponent, slightly tougher. LMU can definitely throw it out there and swing with anyone on any given day, but Iceni probably a little more balanced across the board right now as far as their in-form elite level.
Probably
right
a little bit more similar to what the Stingrays will be facing up against. LMU, a very veteran side. They've got the tactics, they've got the throws. But in terms of athleticism and energy, it's more likely that Iceni will be similar to the other 24 teams that the Stingrays will be facing soon.
So I'm wondering if Iceni would have seen any film there and been coming out with a little bit of the same in mind. I'm just getting in to our schedule here. Iceni's standings.
A little bit of chat on the sideline, I think, figuring out where the monitor is in case they need to review any replays.
It's right over here. come see us. Iceni is 2-0, as I suspected. Stingrays 0-2, so at top of the table versus bottom of the table, but touted to be a game, and if the Stingrays have taken some lessons, then this will be their time to shine.
Yeah, I think the Stingrays struggled a bit against Spice as well, although that was a very hot game around lunchtime. So Iceni coming out on O. Got Melvin Tang on the high sideline. Shoots to Chang in the middle. Short pass to Potter. Potter surveying her options upfield. A little bit of physical defense from the Stingrays here. Chang to Booth. Booth, a recent addition to this Iceni team, shooting deep. And that's going to be perfectly weighted for Tang to run onto, but bounces off the hands. So we'll see Stingrays with an early break opportunity. Great
throw, unfortunate for Tang, kind of just pancaked it upside down there and comes spat out of the hands.
Yeah, Booth last season was playing for SICK, another London team, and is really finding their feet on this Iceni side. So we've got Stingrays on that low sideline. Buxer looking long, and that's going to be well read by Ha. But another unfortunate drop. Looks like the receiver wasn't quite expecting that throw, bobbled to the floor.
Bit of unexpectedness and a bit more of that wind wreaking havoc as it has done all day. They're trying to get used to it, but a very difficult wind to get used to, particularly the showcase pitch, the only one that's aligned with a different orientation.
Yeah, and it's been quite swirly as well. Oh my God, incredible play from Christy Toe. Keeps the disc alive, keeping her toes all the way down, and a huge put. That one is going to be safely read by Mac, and that is the first point on the board for Iceni.
Wow, you gotta love that after the incredible bid on the sideline to keep it alive, making quick work of it after that. Iceni getting end-to-end and bringing the highlights into the showcase game already. A very unfortunate turn, as you said, on the other end. I really liked the long shot. I don't think it was pinpoint, but really enough wind under it to read as we get another look at that toe drag. And it was, oh yeah, that was beautiful, because I think she actually had a little leap and the toes came up for just a second till they hit the back and dragged. And then this big shot, which traveled out of bounds for 80% of that flight path. So you're really playing with your luck there, keeping that disc out of bounds, but also, you know, being sure and well measured with your throws.
Potter and Toe having a long time playing together on Spice, and then also on the Deep Space training squad for several years. Quite a few players from Deep Space crossing over to Iceni this season. Some through choice. So we'll see the Stingrays O-line now, fielding the pull. Got Han Rahan in the middle of the field. Looking for that break into the middle.
Oh.
That was good work from Kim to get free, sort of squirrely movements, but Iceni get a short field turn. Got Kwan and Leong
hit her hard and fast there.
Lenton opens up for the big break side to Taylor, and that's an Iceni break.
And that's a quick, clinical Iceni break, and last time they kind of let the Stingrays hang around defensively, and you know, they did end up punishing them for the miss on the double turn. This time, the Stingrays turned short field, and that was just clinical as can be. One throw, toes in. That's as easy offense as you can get on conversion.
It did look like the Iceni defense was there and putting pressure, but that's the kind of unforced error that you don't really want to see a week out of Worlds.
So at 2-0, Iceni starting the same way their record indicates on the scoreboard. They are gearing up, of course, for the EUCF, of course, UKU, UK Nationals as well, high on their season target list. But surely for them, this tournament, a big one, they'll want to be eyes on the prize at the end of this one, winning the pool. By winning this game, it would absolutely assure it, potentially. I think it's actually wrapped up already, 2-0, 0-2. That is a wrapped up pool.
Yes,
so they've got the pool wrapped up. So they'll be eyeing semis now, looking across the other side.
Mackay breaks round to Ung. Mackay again. Nice shot across the field. Pankhurst. Working it nicely around the back. Cut's coming. Oh, that was a really beautifully set up cut, but unfortunately the throw sails over the head. Just too high for Nguyen. So Hannah Smith walking up to the disc. Formerly a Bristol-based, who's been in London on this Iceni side. Oh, incredible effort from Rodriguez to try and keep that wayward disc alive. Stingrays with another chance. Looking deep immediately. It's sitting nicely. Oh. That one just fading a bit too fast.
Yeah, Cow still gave good chase right till there was no chance there. There's another look at that bid in the middle of the field. The no quit for Iceni before the pickup and huck. And Gao, I mean, that huck, I like the shot. It's, you know, misses by half a meter or less. It's one you got to take.
Oh, just off the hands
Almost
of
crawling.
Chang there. Yeah, desperately reaching out for it. Short field turn for Stingrays now. Oh, but easily swatted away by, that's not body. I can't see the shirt there. But yeah, starting to become a little bit trapped in this third. Wind gusting a bit. Big shot goes. Well, Deed there. Looks like there might be a little bit of a discussion. And Healy is going to retract her call. The turnover will stand.
I think that's fair. I think that's the way I see it.
I think when you've got that height advantage and you still get Deed. Great defense though from Keeley, blocking up that up the line. There's a lot of discs popping up. Oh, but well read. Bottom Clark there. All right, knocking on the door of the end zone. Oh, but that's going to be a D from Emma Healy, getting it back. Stingrays stringing some nice passes together. Oh my goodness, Chi, what a huff.
Beautiful.
Well taken by Melvin Tang. She's got several options deep. She's going to hit Rodriguez. Once again, not able to keep it up. Rodriguez really putting her body on the line for these discs here, not getting a lot to show for it.
Yeah, I don't think she ever had a chance, but she let her team know that if she put it anywhere close, I'm going to keep working for you.
Yeah. Shielding her eyes from the sun. We're back in a horizontal stack. Cutters running into each other a little bit. And that's going to be intercepted by Healy. Gao, the intended target, and a pick called. Iceni in their vertical stack. Looks like a pick call on Smith by Mackay. Chang. Up the line to Smith. Oh my gosh, out of nowhere. Looked like that was going to be an easy D for the Stingrays. And that is an easy D for the Stingrays.
Yeah, they gave you what you were looking for, Ali.
I'm manifesting Ds for the Stingrays, which is not my intention. Wang on that low side sideline finds Mackay. That's a big throw. Healy with what must be her 4th or 5th D this point, it feels like. She is significantly taller than I think all of the Stingrays on the field. Smith, floaty backhand, just bounces off the hands. This point turning into a bit of a grinder, Stef.
It sure is. They are going back and forth. I've been trying to neglect to mention, but the turnover count is up to 12 now on this point.
That's more than one would like. Mackay getting the disc off to the middle of the field. It's another turnover. If I'm Iceni, I'm calling a timeout here. Although it is on the low sideline, maybe not.
They're playing.
She picking up the disc. Oh. Rodriguez not having to lay out for that one. Smith. It's a nice cut from Melvin Tang. Chang. Chan. Looked at the wrong line. Yeah. That might get her a nomination for a certain Iceni prize that they give out at the end of the tournament, or end of each day. Smith.
And there we go.
And a pick call.
Okay. Not quite yet.
We're all wanting a score here, I think. Christy Toe on the sideline expressing her frustration that this point is still going on and that she is not playing on the field.
Bench is getting cold. Sideline's getting cold by now.
So disc is going back to Chan, it looks like. Another more recent addition to this Iceni roster. So stack looks to be set up. And that looked like it was an offhand backhand that couldn't connect with Tang. So Stingrays with another chance. Seem to be struggling quite a bit with this wind. Oh, well kept in hand there by Pankhurst. But then can't quite get it to Mackay.
What a steal.
Yeah, Smith will make the D. I mean, this is great for everybody's D stats, but yeah, Healy getting another one. Finally getting it to Cheeling.
So our stats sheet across the board doesn't have anywhere near enough columns as it would need to show the turnover count here. I mentioned earlier, does anybody in the chat want to, were they really keeping track with us to know how many turnovers there were at that point? Because it was one that I've not seen that number in quite some time. I'll give you about 10 seconds if you want to have a crack at it, and then I'll let you know.
We do have a question from the chat.
Where do we have a question in the chat? Oh, is it true that number 11, Evelyn Ha, got invited to join the Tokay SuperTeam? She said no, just to give USA World Games team a chance. Oh, I wish I could be touting my overconfidence nature right now, but we just got humbled by Germany. And so I can say, no, it's not true. That didn't happen.
Stef can neither confirm nor deny.
And I can confirm that there were 17 turnovers on that point.
Oof. That's a high number.
I don't know if I've called a lot of games. It could be amongst the highest. It is really windy out here.
Yeah.
This wind, it has wreaked havoc. I mean, so windy that the Tokay SuperTeam didn't win. So if is there any bigger indication than that? It really is. I do think this pitch has it best, to be honest, going sideline to sideline rather than end zone to end zone. But it's
take.
still treachery.
Yeah. That is a hot take. I would take an upwind, downwind over a crosswind any day.
Really?
Yeah. Because at least you have one easy direction.
Yeah, but then it just balances the game. It makes scoring in one end only. But it doesn't necessarily make it. It probably makes it cleaner looking in the end. At least one way can get cooking.
Huge D there. Just getting that interception. Iceni with a relatively short field turn. Got Leong shooting straight to the end zone. Fantastic interception from Buxer. Taps the disc in at the front of the end zone. Don't need to do that, but that's okay. Oh, putting her body on the line. Unfortunately, Ha can't reel it in. Phi Kwan walking up to the disc. Veteran Iceni player. Maddie Leong to Hanton. Oh, leg pops up on the force there. Leong again. She's got Roland. Roland surveying her options. Phi Kwan on the break space. And with a slip of the toes, Maddie Leong scores.
I think you'll be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but Maddie Leong is on the under-24s GB team, or certainly was last iteration. I remember being quite impressed and remember calling that name a handful.
She was captaining, I think, Iceni, the under-24s, and the GB senior team all in 1 year.
Wow, love to hear that.
I don't know how she's not completely burned out. I mean,
in any sense. She's not burnt out. She's still ticking. She's just got a heart full of ticker. That must be the only reason.
it's young people these days. They're built different. Looks like Stingrays have taken a timeout, so we will be right back.
Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. And created the shift and made good.
That was absolutely incredible. Welcome back to ULTI.TV's coverage of London Invite here in London at the Grasshoppers Rugby Football Club. You are watching Iceni from London take on the Australia under-24 team nicknamed Stingrays. Stef, what's been happening so far?
Well, the Stingrays have had some trouble getting things going. They've tried the deep game. They've had trouble even trying to run the short game. Some early point turnovers, and Iceni have been quite diligent in punishing them, really capitalizing on the mistakes that have been made. And in a game like this, it's the 8th defender that's being credited for most of the turnovers. It is the wind that's causing some unforced errors, so to speak, unforced by the direct opposition, forced by the elements that are causing them. But Iceni have been, wily enough to pick up and do battle against both sets of opposition. I just about to say blue bottles, that's the mixed team, the Stingrays and the elements here. And they've been quite tidy. And I think this tournament they've been tidy. They're 2-0. They're looking into the finals round now, as we said at the top. On the other side, it's Bristol that has gone 2-0. Smog and Yaka in the middle of that, but Smog got the win on them, so we'll see how this all flutters out. But Iceni has been as hot as that catch.
Yeah, fantastic catch. Stingrays have had some real flashes of brilliance, and they're all definitely putting their bodies on the line to try and capture throws, but I think it's decision-making errors like that, combined with the wind leading to wayward throws, that's really been letting them down so far. But that was a good heads-up D from Booth also. We've got Potter on that low sideline, looking to Christy toe deep, but that's got too much blade on it and is going to hit the floor.
And yeah, you saw the
accepted foul.
Wow.
I was going to say, Potter usually doesn't come out with throws like that.
She's better than that.
She's better than that.
The Iceni, that D there, I mean, causing some confusion before Iceni got it. But again, another zone really gumming up the front, and Stingrays not taking quite enough time to throw around it, and that time into it.
Oh, low throw, well saved by Chang. Oh, third handler absent meant there were only two handlers to work with. That is a lovely huck. Absolutely perfect for Shears to run onto, and Stingrays get themselves on the board.
Well, in Australia, they'd say that's an absolute perler. An absolute perler, mate. And it really was a beautiful throw out of hand. Again, even more beautiful considering the elements here, as you see the celebration. But that out of hand had float. You know, we're getting water bottles are blowing over in the booth here. And there's under 24 players that can float discs perfectly into the end zone.
Yeah.
Love to see Stingrays breaking onto the score sheet.
Oh, Potter absolutely sprinting. Great form there. And yeah, I think that's Chang. No, that's not Chang giving chase. It's hard to tell. Oh no, it is Chang giving chase. There we go. Shouldn't doubt myself.
Yeah, you got that all worked out.
Yeah, mostly. Playing with them at Wind Farm helped 2 weeks ago.
With Iceni?
Yeah.
Ah.
Cheeky pickup.
Your team this year?
My career, unfortunately.
Okay.
I've been training with Deep Space and with Thundering Herd a bit, though.
Okay.
I know, real life.
Real life, man. What's so real about life? Let us know in the chat.
Van Zyl. Oh, Van Zyl manages to break the mark, but looks like a bit of a miscom with Lenton. So Stingrays with a break opportunity. Got a deep cut going, doesn't fancy it. A little bit of confusion in the backfield, but well read. Oh, but that throw is going to be behind Rosenthal. Iceni picking it up straight away. Van Zyl, oh, dishes offhand. Pope keeps it alive, full extension. Lenton, no mark on, looking into the end zone. Swings to Pope, who looks off Leong. Lenton's under, Leong doesn't like it. Puts it up very high. It's well read by Van Zyl, but can't quite hang on to it. Surprised Nosovic didn't go up. She is, I think, a little bit over 6 foot. That's the kind of disc she should be bringing down. Great catch by Bucks there. Oh!
Ooh. That got, I think, a fingertip twice on that before it hit the target and dropped.
Rosenthal, I think, getting distracted by the poach and dropping that disc. Pope opening up on the break side. Oh, and it's a great D, but seconds gets the goal.
D assist, unfortunately. I hate those. You say you got to catch your Ds in this kind of wind. You think a smack away like that is going to be enough. But again, in this kind of wind, that's where I can either be flushed straight to the ground or a little bit of a gasp underneath the bottom side, and that can stay up and keep floating and give second chances as it did there.
Yeah, so Van Zyl doesn't quite sit this out far enough in front of Taylor. But there's so much momentum from the Stingrays player that she then can't get in to D that second shot. So we're at 5-1 here.
It's a great Cat Pope layout earlier, the possession prior to keep it alive. I thought it was going to be enough and they were going to score, and I was going to celebrate it then, but it almost gets forgotten when it's not on the same possession, but I'll go back and remember that because it was a heck of a play. She splashed into the ground very well. Nice form. As you see, the total completed passes, that one got away from us there, but a whole lot to
23 to 17, I think it was.
17. It's actually quite close. Certainly much more scoring efficiency for Iceni for 5 goals on 23 passes.
Yeah, Pope's been a really solid handler for this Iceni side for a long time now. Previously at Exeter University, I believe, and still sometimes plays with their alumni team, XL. So we've got the Iceni sidelines. Sounds like they're shouting dab.
I thought they said dad.
I'm sure there are some dads here today, but seems like an odd chant. So Iceni sticking with the zone that's been giving Stingrays so much trouble. We see a first pass turnover. Oh, but then also a first pass turnover from Iceni, so Stingrays have another chance. We've got Lee on the disc, looks off the reset, instead to Hanrahan. Wang swings on that high sideline. Oh, huge fake from Lee there. And going every other. Really starting to figure out this zone and its weaknesses. These short little give-go passes reaping a lot of rewards. Getting closer to the end zone now. Kim. Not a lot of options. Shoots long. And that's going to be swatted to the ground by Melvin Tang. It was all looking good up until that moment, though. So Iceni will be shooting upwind-ish. Hard to tell. The wind going more and more diagonal as the day wears on. Potter on Coffin corner. Oh, can't quite get the disc off to Smith. Very short tap. Oh, okay. And instead of setting up, we're back with Iceni, who absolutely launches that deep. Too far for Healy. Stingrays on 0 once again. Looks like Iceni are setting up that zone once more. Sleeth winds up. Unfortunately, that will be caught by Gaël Lancelot on the far sideline.
Wait, he's not playing in this game. But he did give some signals. He is a game advisor.
Is he?
He is a, qualified or certified game advisor. I don't know how much he actually does. But I have definitely seen him advising some games.
I mean, there's not much point getting certified if you then don't do it.
Not exactly that.
Oh, very nearly a Callahan there. And that is a score. After several attempts, Stingrays finally slotted in.
And a handful of turns this time too, but seems like not many at all after the point we had a few back. But yeah, taking advantage of that one there. Almost the Callahan, rose above the intended receiver, as many passes have done in this game. The clean intercept, a jab step on a fake backhand, and then in for goal with a meter to gain. Here it is, whoop, up above one, up above the other. And when you get that short of a field, things get a lot easier to make 2-meter completions when when they count for goals.
Especially when you catch your Ds instead of just, you know, tapping it onto the floor and trying to get set up. If you've got open players, might as well hit them.
So we've had a lot of low-scoring games in all divisions because of the wind here. You know, 34 minutes into this game, 7 points played, approximately half of the game played, and 7 points scored and played. So
I think most of it was just that 1 point. I
yeah,
think.
that was a long one. But you know, even the game we were last in the mixed game, 12-8. There's few getting to 15.
Juan looking for Taylor. Bounces off the hands. Looked like she almost forgot to close her fingers there. It's almost in her grasp. So you've got Mackay picking up. Stingrays in a vertical stack. Cutting from the front, which has become the fashion in recent years. Goes up, but Pope is going to snaffle that one away. A lot of people cutting at once. And that will be Buxer, who intercepts in between two Iceni players. Big throw from Mackay, and it's kept in. Buxer with the bookends. And that is Stingrays' first break.
Stingers coming alive now, just when, you know, they really extended the game, led you into a sense of doubt that they were, you know, winning the turnover battle a bit more than the efficiency battle. Then, okay, they get one, a easy, dirty hold, and then go right back the other way, get their first hold or break of the game. 3-5, they're definitely in striking distance here now. It's ever so quick a game can be turned on its head. And I mean, it ain't turned upside down yet, but that's nice to see. To see them still coming and swinging and getting this break to bring things to within 2.
Yeah, these Stingrays are definitely not going to go down without a fight. I think they're quite peaceful animals, Stingrays, in general, but...
Tell that to Steve Irwin.
Hey, that's an outlier.
Sorry. It's 3-1 in the last 4 points. Since it was 4-0.
Yep.
It's 3-1. Like, that is a response.
It certainly is. And that's a real testament to the mental game of these under-24s. I think a lot of youth teams have a reputation for being quite emotional, and, you know, if they're losing, they're down. If they're winning, they're up. So that shows real grit from these Stingers, especially being 0-2 today, to still be fighting and not be giving up in the face of adversity. Wu on that low side, looking for Chang. That's Booth with plenty of time. He's got Chang in the middle. Oh, well kept in hand by Chang under a lot of pressure. Looking in that IO channel. Gets it off. Melvin Tang faking decisively. A little bit of a miscom, but it's got enough float to be kept alive. Booth on this high sideline. Oh, fakes the big flick. Hits Wu in the middle instead. Some nice continuation flow from Iceni. Mac looking upfield. Chang. Pick called upfield. Had a couple of these now. Chang, also a gymnast. That was her sport before Frisbee. Managed to severely mess up her legs when she was at university and came back to play at this top level. Burning up the line. Oh, but bounces out of the hands. I think the wind is doing kind of funny things to this disc. It's not flying in quite the way players might expect it to, which is leading to a lot of drops. That is a very nice break. It is sitting, and there are a lot of white shirts underneath it, unfortunately. Chang again. Melvin Tang thinks about the floater to Rodriguez. It's Chang instead. Booth burning under, well kept in hand. Oh, fantastic effort, but that's going to be too far out in front. I think there was oh my God, what an incredible bid. I think there was a little bit of IO on that disc, which meant it was trailing away from Chang, making that bid that much harder. But she got her hand to it. Oh, Mac left in the dust by the 24 shirt, Shears. But thankfully some help D peels off to prevent the score, or prevent the huck even. Huge effort from Lee to try and keep that one up, but it's a short field turn for Iceni. Chang just grazes it on the first attempt, looking into that IO channel. Oh, but manages to bounce it off the defender. That was a hip block. Oh. Going with the claw instead of the scoop.
Yeah, I mean, left hand would have given her a chance to be behind the disc instead of trying to go trailing edge on it, perhaps.
Yeah.
I thought that huck was really great. I didn't think the chase was going to get there, and then when it did, maybe she surprised herself with her speed. Because, yeah, that's when they would have wanted back.
Yeah. Melvin Tang on the disc now, motioning Rodriguez to get onto the open side. Wu now to Booth. Oh, and that bounces off the hand. I think a little bit of tiredness starting to creep in. Lee picking up, shooting long. It's got the right angle on it. And there is the right receiver under it. That's Shears. And that's another break for Stingrays.
Stingers, they're coming. They're heating up. We're going to see an Iceni timeout, or they're going to play it cool here. It looks like they're playing it cool, but I wouldn't be.
I mean, we love to see a tight game, and I think Stingrays are really, really fighting this one. They do not want to lose this. So yeah, it does look like Stingrays look like they're gearing up for a timeout. Iceni less so.
I don't think we got one.
Nope, just straight out again.
Surprised. It's now 4 of the last 5 and 3 in a row. Down by 1. Reminder for those of you joining us that it was 4-0 for Iceni out the gates. Dots for Meg Dogs. I don't know what dots are. But Meg Dogs getting some dots.
I'm going to be real with you, I don't know what that means.
So Megan Lee on the assist. So is an assist a dot? Is a stat a dot?
Okay, that makes sense. Dots, okay.
Please explain in the comment, in the chat section. Harper Graham Nye, what's a dot? And have we got Meg Dogs? At least that part of it.
I rate that as a nickname. Dimes, good throws, big shots, dots.
Okay, dimes, yeah, assists, dots. Put it on a dot, put it on a dime. I mean, a dime is to put it into, like, land it on a 10-cent piece.
Truly a vast chasm divides our cultures.
Dropping dimes, dropping dots. I'll take it.
Better than dropping discs, to be sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we've got Iceni marching up the pitch, working it under. Fikwan probably would have been on a GB World Games team if there was one here, but sadly there isn't. Van Zyl on the far side to Lenton. Lenton looking at Van Zyl again. Hanton. At the front, looking for Van Zyl. She's got it with momentum. Hanton to Roland. There was some nice flow all the way up to the end zone, and then some good patience outside the end zone. But fantastic defense from Stingrays to make Iceni take as many passes as they did.
Really making them work to get back on the board. It's been a while for Iceni, but they're back. Put it in, blue bottles. Oh my goodness, the blue. I coached the blue bottles at one stage in my life, so.
They're also wearing blue, which is helpful.
Yeah, it's they're messing with my head here. The Stingrays making it difficult for them and have certainly stepped up into this game, even defensively. See the windmill just spinning around there. Good place to farm wind. I think they London Invite taking a page out of WC playbook. Let's find a place that they farm wind and host a tournament right near it. All said, I mean, most teams love, especially a prep tournament, love to be able to play in the wind and make sure they're ready for any conditions when push comes to shove for, you know, what their season is really revolving around.
Yeah, you got to be prepared for anything. And there's no better way to prepare than by playing in absolutely horrible conditions. Especially for the mental game, actually. That's almost more important in a game where it's either very rainy or very windy. The Stingrays fielding the pull. Iceni with their junky zone look again, but Stingrays have their number on that now. Getting off a couple little pop passes, looking for that big swing across to Osmond. Taking those negative yards. Lovely positioning from Sleeth there. Oh, nice IO shot, opening up all the way. Acres of space. Relatively easy offense point for Stingrays there.
Stingers. I'm going to say that every time they score a goal now, if you haven't worked it out. They're coming for it. I'm loving Stingrays since 4-0. They're really found the calm. I think the mental game you talked about that this is good for is something that a flip has been switched for as well. Maybe, you know, once the pressure's off, perhaps they're down 0-2, the advancing is no longer something that they can really keep their eye on. They went down 4-0 at the start of this game. You know, at that stage, as long as you can avoid giving up, if you can say like, hey, let's keep our head in it, and all right, we got nothing to lose, why not? Just, you know, sometimes loosens the team up. They play with a smile on their face a bit more. That is something, you know, that really gets a team twisted up. Over intensity, too much pressure. And some players and teams are great at responding to pressure, and some really have to learn that. And the best way to learn that is to kind of not see it, not feel it, and being distracted by being down or out is a good way to not feel it and see it. And as much as it sucks in the moment sometimes to be down, it can be good. And I think all things leading up to this point has been good for the Stingrays, showing what they're doing in the latter stages of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Iceni back out on O, seeing Nosovic for the first time this game in the handling space. She, I think, would have been eligible for the Australian under-24s had she been young enough.
Australian? Nos is Australian.
Yeah, she grew up in Australia.
Oh. I don't know if I learned that when I commentated a game or two with her. Maybe I did and I forgot to.
Did you not hear the accent?
I mean, things get past me from time to time.
You'd have to check me on that. I know her parents are Russian, hence the Nosovic.
All right, I'll be listening more careful. Anything that's not like a North American accent. I mean, before I moved to Australia, I thought like British, Australia, Kiwi, South African, Irish, it all just sounded different and the same to me. Now I have a little bit better of an ear for it. The ignorance in saying that, I know you can let me know in the chat.
I don't think the chat's going to judge you for not being able to distinguish between different English accents.
I'm better now, I'll say that. Except with Nos.
Iceni charging up the pitch, taking it quite measured. Oh, and just bounces off the hands of Van Zyl.
Yeah, she just turned her head there. I think she's looking next pass. Happens all too often.
Nguyen on the disc. Gets the swing off to Wang. She's got Ung under. Nice gainer. Swings to Nguyen. Opens up. I love that they are not afraid to take on these deep shots. And that's a great catch by Gao. That's another break.
6-6 Stingers.
You nearly forgot, didn't you?
I did. It's supposed to be the first thing out of my mouth, but we're tied up. 3 breaks to 4. Oh no, 3 breaks to 3.
Yeah.
It's tied up. I mean, the only difference being Iceni got him all in sequence, but Iceni also got him an eon ago. Stingrays living in the now.
I think everything you said about the Stingrays kind of calming down and loosening up a bit, because you're 4-0 down, you're just trying to play the systems, you're just trying to enjoy yourself. That same mental switch, I think, flipped for Iceni in the wrong way. They're 4-0 up, we're playing zone, they can't work through our zone, this is going to be, a cakewalk.
We're 2-0, they're 0-2.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that looks like it's causing some real damage, and Iceni need to start taking this game seriously, start taking the Stingrays seriously, because the Stingrays are here to play.
Yeah, a little foot off the gas, perhaps, from Iceni, and the thing is, in this game of momentum and runs, once the foot is let off the gas, it is so hard to put a spanner in the works and get the momentum flowing back in your direction sometimes. And nothing changes except the pressure, except in the head is where you feel the difference. You get that doubt, you get the sweaty palms, you start to wonder why it didn't work last time, and then that's in your head. Is it going to work this time while you're playing? So a great mental battle out there.
Smith, or Smitty, as her teammates call her, to toe. Always plays with a smile. Woo. Whoa. Oh, Smitty taking a bit of a tumble there, but doesn't call anything. Loud count from the Stingrays. It seems like they're maybe going to transition to something at some point. I suspect they may already have transitioned, but they're still counting. Iceni offense really getting gummed up here. Shooting, is that going to come back in? It is. Really well read. Excellent catch from Chan. But yeah, they look like they were in a bit of a sticky situation there for a second.
Nice response. Love to see it. And as much as I've been not cheering for, but getting a little bit more excited for the Stingray scores in it, I love that put. Love the back pedal there, the double box out, stealing stats from one another.
Ha.
To go up 1. 52 minutes into the game, so less than 20 remain.
It's unfortunate you do see that a lot in women's, that instead of tracking your defender all the way, you try and go up so early, and it's just not able to get that D. So next up, we have the Open show games. So we have the Canadian and Australian under-24 Open teams facing off.
What a cracker this is going to be, a prelude to, potential quarters, potential semi.
So that will be on the free stream. Then we also have Clapham versus Ranelagh. That's a game that's been played before all over the world. Chevron versus Blueprint will finish out that group.
And
if you want to see all the action, every single game, if you've got multi-monitors set up and you're just mainlining Frisbee right now, make sure you become a channel member, hit that join button and select the More London Invite option. So Stingrays offense working through the Iceni zone once again. And Iceni get an early turnover. Some of those errors creeping back in from the early stages of the game. Pope opens up that backhand. Hanton on the high line. And that's going to be too low, just pushed down by the wind. And that is a big throw going up. And somehow kept in hand. Absolutely phenomenal catch from Maya Osmond. Unfortunately a turnover, but she was sandwiched between two Iceni players and somehow managed to hang on to the disc. Lenton just slapping that one down. Leung picking up. Lenton looking for an open side cut. Has it from Nosovic. Immediately to Hanton. Pope. Ooh, very close. Nearly a D. Leung, she's got body deep. Takes Pope instead. Who's also looked like she wanted to put it deep. Body and Nos attacking the same space. Body to Nosovic. And Roland will snaffle that one up. And Iceni break back.
And so all of my Stingers' delight has woken up Iceni. They are bouncing back now in this game of runs. They've absorbed, held the last one, broke again, and that'll take us into half. It's a very late half in the game as far as the timing goes, but half nonetheless at points. 8-6 now for Iceni from London.
And I think we're going to take a break and be back with you after these messages.
Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. And created the tip and made good.
That was absolutely incredible.
Lightspeed VC, a global venture capital firm, proud to sponsor excellence and team cohesion worldwide.
I'm Stef Pazzo, and I must eat.
Sometimes commentator, sometimes food eater.
On my ultimate travels in 2023, I sampled culinary classics from all across Europe,
Oh, wow.
guided by some of your favorite ultimate players.
That's the Dutch hospitality for you right there.
I'll give you an insight into the secret spots that only the locals know of.
Are these the best schnitzels in Vienna?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
Go find Stef Pazzo at YouTube. Like and subscribe and follow the European Ultimate Must Eat series. Shopping Zillow and need a trusted resource for your real estate questions? Want to check on loan pre-approval? reach out to HomeForce, an all-in-one home buying service engineered for ultimate players, fans, and friends. The HomeForce team provides services in real estate, mortgage financing, insurance, and much more. No pressure, no commitment, just trusted advice.
What are they, spaceships from Mars? No, they're Frisbees. Watch it soar. It flies way around like a bird. You can even run for a pass. You can play all kinds of games. Isn't it amazing? Frisbee Flying Saucer. Yours at toy, drug, and department stores.
Welcome back to ULTI.TV's coverage of London Invite here in sunny London this evening at Grasshoppers Rugby Football Club. We are watching what started out as a somewhat unpromising game with Iceni taking an early lead 4-0 against the Stingrays, the Australian under-24s, and we are now at 8-6. Stef, what do you think's been the change?
Me yelling stingers every time. No, that's not been the change. I do think what we touched on earlier is the ease of play for the Stingrays. I don't think they really changed that much. I guess one thing is they've been shooting deep a little bit more, or they did in the midst of their run, and that seems to have been working. They got away with a couple of deep shots that led to short scores thereafter. So in play that, but I do really think it's just an easier kind of attitude out there for the Stingrays.
Yeah, shooting deep again. We've got several players under it, but Fiquan is going to flail wildly and maybe catch somebody in the face while doing so.
Yeah, it's almost as though she thought Clapham just got a break and was thinking down comes the hammer.
Yeah, it's surprised she didn't try and catch that. Looked like she went up before everyone else, but she's going to pick it up now anyway. No call. Pope. Ellie Taylor churning under, looking for a lovely undergainer from Van Zyl. Looks off the deep shot. Low throw to Kwan. Kwan, oh, that could have gone to Roland. Oh, what an incredible layout, D. Victoria Lee flying at about waist height to make this save. Oh my God, the Stingers are down still, but they are not out.
Woo! Love that into full splash on the 3G turf. Really shortening that to a Mac line.
Yeah, we've had a lot of discs bouncing off the hands today, but not a whole lot of people backing it up. So, Stingers really putting their bodies on the line everywhere, unfortunately. Nos using the wingspan. That's going to have to be a difficult read from Taylor, and that's another bounce off the hands. You can see she's visibly frustrated there.
Yeah, the double foot stomp there. I think the throw imperfect, but was good enough for the reception there. So Taylor we'll see if her D steps up when you count yourself a little bit responsible for the attacking error. I tend to see better individual D out there.
All right, so Iceni get another turn. I think some of the success from Stingrays has also been taking on more of those deep shots and then having more of a field to play D in. These short field turns are really killing them. And that's going to be too high, but it will be backed up. Hannah Long getting her first stat of the game. She was Rookie of the Year for Iceni in her first year with them. I think it's now her third year. She's been really valuable on the D-line. So that's now 3 in a row for Iceni, breaking out of half. It's 9-6. I think Stingrays are starting to lose a little bit of that magic they generated. Yeah, great read, great backup from Leong there.
Look at the crowd filling up now. Next game coming up. I mean, this is the start of the 3 showcases. And as much as that crowd is full, there's a lot of spectators here, most certainly not involved in this tournament. As the women's round ends, They're gonna, do their debrief, have something to eat, and then they'll fill the stands as the men's open round ends. They'll do the debrief, have a drink. And by the end of the day, the last showcase of the game, I suspect that this is going to be an electric atmosphere. It's already, you're definitely starting to feel the energy on the showcase pitch here. And I look forward to that energy just growing through the end of the day, particularly because our team, the Tokay SuperTeam, gets to feature in the final game of the day on this field. And we get some work to do now. We put ourselves in the corner.
Gonna bagel the USA?
Yeah. You heard it here first. No, we will not bagel them, but we'll let them have one.
Hey. Anything's possible, right?
It is. Anything
can happen. Big roly pull. It's going to put the Stingrays on that low sideline. Iceni setting up their zone. Big arms of Healy on the force. Stingrays taking a big loopy option. Potter sniffing for a D. Stingrays keeping it safe. Mackay. They've got screaming, but goes deep. That is a lovely shot to Gao.
Oh, 2-on-1. They got to take that shot.
It's being too safe, and that disc is on the floor. Foul called. Let's take another look at that.
It was like a half a pivot in, but then it was like on the pivot away. We were still kind of in a bit. I kind of think it was a drop out of hand.
I don't know. It looked like she was in the throwing motion. Let's have another look.
She was. That's a hand block being disputed. I thought the throwing hand was opening up.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you there. That's some great wrist flexibility, though. Her wrist was going all the way back for that backhand. Oh, and that is... They're also going to talk about that. It looks like no, it's not an accepted foul. Healy again. This matchup between Mackay and Healy starting to get a little bit physical. Yeah, it looks like Healy's using her arm to kind of get in front of Mackay, which is not allowed. That is expressly forbidden in the rules, that you are not allowed to block a player's movement with your arms or legs. But Healy's going to contest, and we will send it back. Oh, looks like Smith got a foot to that. Turning into a slightly chippy game here. That's the third foul called on Healy in about as many minutes.
Healy going full thug out there.
Yeah. Oh, Smitty gets up so high. I mean, oh, I see. Okay. Right, it's a strip call.
Yeah. Not really full thug.
If we could get another look at that, although it does look like the players are... Yeah, so Smitty gets the toes to that one. And then, oh, nope, okay. All right, we're back in. And, oh, fantastic effort, but not quite. So Potter on Coffin corner once again. Not the first time she's been there this game. Gets it off to Healy. Booth. Potter. Lovely cut from Christy Toe. Cut is a little bit deep. Oh, fantastic catch from Jan. Gets it off to Rodriguez. Potter looking long. Smithy's got the sun in her eyes, and that's just going to trail too far out in front.
And with that, another change of possession. Another full field in front as it came on a shot for goal. And here's another look. I mean, I don't mind the look. It wasn't too far off. It's really hard to commit to the long game. I've found in this tournament, being, part of the team. I'm not coaching unit, but you do kind of really want to promote the small ball in weather like this. It's it's so much easier. Here it is. Take it over. We're in the red zone here.
Oh, and we're back.
Now we're way out of the red zone again. But it's back in the red zone.
I can't. Sorry. So Pazzo walking up. Iceni setting up their stack. Booth in the reset space. Yeah, just
right into the defense there. That one did not come out of the hand.
I think it's
as
so
planned.
hard to look at that front of stack when you're on the sideline unless your dump is so far back. Healy getting a little bit close on the mark again. Oh, some bumps happening, but no bumping on that turnover.
But going back to the small ball, it just makes more sense in the wind. Like the hucks get taken, they obviously fly higher. Once they're up there, any edge can be taken, but you cannot abandon it. I think it has to work. I think that Germany used the deep game very good. They did not shy off it, and once you kind of commit to small ball too much, it really brings hesitancy to the big game, and you become one-dimensional. So you almost got to force the deep game back in sometimes.
Oh, really well read. And time just went before that throw, so I believe that will be game to Iceni, 10-6. So Selena Chan catching that winning goal. I think there's a little bit of hesitancy on the field, but that is game over. Very well done to both teams. Stingrays especially really fighting it back in the middle of the game there. Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. Do not go anywhere. We have more action coming up. The Goannas from Australia, another under-24s team, will be facing off Canada. So I will leave you with Stef Pazzo for that game. I've been Ali Thomas, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
ULTI.TV.